Oh no, look at me, I'm a walking corpse! Just look at all the gray hairs! Look at this! What is that? What? How? Why? I'm freakiering the f*** out, man! Freakier Friday, released this past weekend in 2025, and is directed by Nisha Ganatra, who is also behind such films like Late Night and The High Note. And this film is starring, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, Julia Butters, Sophia Hammonds, the man that a whole bunch of Star Wars incels can't take, all the male sexiness that he brought to the Star Wars show The Acolyte, Manny Jacinto, and the man who still looks the same, Chad Michael Murray, who whenever came on screen, my wife openly laughed out loud because he really does. He does look the exact same. And the exact same role, just that surfer California airhead dude, and just, whoa, you know? It's been 22 years since the original body swapping happened, and Anna Coleman finds herself in love and trying to marry the man of her dreams. However, her rebellious teenage daughter doesn't like it, and so does her future stepdaughter, who is still holding on to a bunch of grief from the loss of her mother many years ago and doesn't want her father to remarry. Whole lot of therapy that needs to hash out all that shit, but, you know, we'll get to it. And Grandma Test is here. Well, during the night of her bachelor party, a psychic gives all four of them a weird little curse to where they all switch bodies the next morning. However, this time, Anna and Tess don't swap bodies with each other. They swap bodies with their daughter and granddaughter, and I guess stepdaughter and grandstepdaughter. Yeah. So it's like the first one, but just bigger and more and doubled, right? Woo! Who am I kidding? I actually did have a lot of fun with this movie, and the overall message, the overall, heart of this film is something to get behind. But for someone who was old enough to be a teenager during the release of the first Freaky Friday, to be now the age of the adult getting married, kind of going into the realm of, hey, I'm kind of in the grandma area, this movie's just a little frustrating, because they make fun of old people a lot, which is something that I found a lot of Gen Zers do. I don't know, maybe it's just because I am the older generation, the millennial generation, and then Generation X before me. It's something that the younger generation always does, makes fun of them, and here, there is just a ton of it. Something that the kids in this movie would call ancient, I remember being a thing I feel like 5 years ago. It was probably 10 or 20, but it's just frustrating. Ageism. It's not fun. But like I said, there is a beautiful heart to this film of family coming together, family from different parts of the world coming together, coming from different backgrounds, having a lot of baggage that they need to work out. And through this whole experience, of course, that's why the first film happened, that's why this film is happening, they're able to work out all of the suppressed emotion that they've been feeling for the last, decade, I guess. Which really, in the end, and I'm not going to spoil the whole thing, but really it's one character in this movie that's holding on to the real baggage here. All of the other stuff is pretty fluff, and I don't think we need to go to this extreme therapy session of swapping consciousnesses with each other in order for you to hash out all of the surface level stuff. But this character over here is dealing with a lot of emotion from a lot of loss that they've been dealing with over the years, and they don't want to see certain characters that they love make a certain choice. Otherwise, they feel like it's going to potentially erase the memories that they have with that old person. I'm towing the line here of spoiling it. I don't want to, because I do think if you were a fan of the first film that you should watch this movie, but it's really that character that has the emotional growth and the big thing that they have to overcome, and the other people are like, meh. It is great seeing Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis reprising their roles and reprising their chemistry that they have with each other. Anna, this time around, is a music producer, so she is always called in to help her main pop star client stop freaking out and stop stressing out, which I like that for her character. It's a nice career progression for her. I do feel bad for the audience who paid their hard-earned money to see that pop star perform at the concert at the end of this movie, when the pop star is like, and we're gonna bring out this other band, and they're gonna play, and yay, nostalgia. If I was the audience member, I'd be like, I paid a ticket to see you, but they've played 4 or 5 songs. I didn't pay to see them. Okay, they're cool, they're fun, but you're the thing that I wanted to see perform. Could I see you do stuff, please? Get my money's worth? What I wanted? No? Okay. That's kind of the overall vibe I get with this movie, is that there's a lot of surface level callback nostalgia stuff that happens here. Yes, there's a tiny little core and a tiny heart that this film has that does tug at your heartstrings once you finally dive deep into it at the end of this film. But overall, it's really just kind of surface level people making fun of generational things, whether you're the older person making fun of the younger people or the younger people making fun of the older people. Just a lot of ageism happening here. In particular from Jamie Lee Curtis, who by far is the best thing that came out of this movie. Her acting as her future stepdaughter, who is from the UK, so she has a British accent. So I need to dive into this for a little bit, because this messed with my brain. My understanding of accents is that it's mental, like you are born regionally somewhere, whether it's in the US, whether it's in the UK, anywhere in the world, you are born in a certain community that has a certain accent attached to it. That's from what you're hearing, that's from what you're gauging other people communicate around you, and that forms your accent that you have. Yes, some people have physical limitations where they form vowels and form sounds in their mouths, because that's physically how their mouth can do it. But from the most part, an accent stems, in my understanding, from the brain, from a consciousness. So my understanding is that when Jamie Lee Curtis switches consciousnesses with Sophia Hammond's character, the accent should be able to transfer, right? So Jamie Lee Curtis, when she wakes up, should be talking with an English accent, right? That's a terrible one. I don't mean to offend anybody, but you get where I'm going with it. And then the kid should be speaking with an American accent. That's how it should work, right? And they even call it out in the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis is like, why don't I have an accent anymore? And I'm sitting there thinking, well, you should. Because accents are mental. They're part of the conscious. Why don't you have one? I can almost guarantee it's probably because Sophia Hammond's didn't have a good American accent. Otherwise, if she does, I don't know why. If you are a linguist or a speech therapist, and you're watching this review for some reason, please comment below. Am I right in thinking that that accent should have been transferred in the conversion? Or is that totally off base and it actually remains with the body? Like an accent belongs with the person, not with the mind. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but if I'm wrong, please comment below and let me know if I am. In the end, Freakier Friday, it's a fine sequel. I don't think you are ruining anything from the first film with this movie. Is it adding anything substantial? No, not really, other than this family really can't catch a break in developing and working through feelings for themselves. They have to have some traumatic body-swapping event to where they finally understand each other. Who needs better help when you have a rogue psychic at your bachelorette party doing palm readings and stuff? I mean, that's the way to go right there. I'm gonna give Freakier Friday 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
So guys, if you've seen Freakier Friday, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.